or 20 years, Carlos Ramirez believed experience made him safe. He had negotiated contracts across continents, survived lawsuits that nearly broke the company, and watched competitors disappear after one bad decision. He had lived through recessions, fuel crises, labor shortages. Every scar reinforced the same belief. Nothing could surprise him anymore. That belief was wrong. Carlos built his logistics company from one used truck and a small family loan. No investors, no partners, no safety net. In the beginning, every contract mattered. Every line was read twice. One mistake could mean missing payroll. One bad signature could end everything. Back then, fear kept him sharp. As the company grew, fear slowly disappeared. By 2018, the business generated $87 million a year, 180 employees, long-term contracts with companies that did not forgive delays. On paper, Carlos was worth over $40 million. Waterfront home, private schools, a private jet leased under the company's name. From the outside, it looked permanent. In January of that year, a private equity firm from New York reached out. They didn't rush him. They didn't pressure him. They framed it as a partnership. $12 million for 18%. No operational interference. Clean deal. Carlos sent the term sheet to his lawyers. They reviewed it. Nothing alarming. Standard language. Familiar structure. That word, standard, was the most dangerous one. At the time, Carlos was in Singapore closing an expansion deal. 14-hour time difference. Jet-lagged. Running on confidence built over decades. The final contract arrived late at night on his phone. 47 pages. Same font, same tone, same rhythm he had seen countless times. Contracts don't announce danger. They hide it. Carlos scrolled quickly, stopping only at the numbers. He didn't read the contract. He recognized it. And recognition creates shortcuts. He signed in under 5 minutes. On page 28, buried in ordinary legal language, was a clause called material adverse change. A clause so common most executives barely notice it. But this one had a quiet twist. It gave the investor full authority to decide what counted as adverse. No negotiation, no warning, no second chance. If triggered, control was gone. Carlos never noticed. 2 years passed. The investor stayed silent. Board meetings were calm. Reports were clean. Clause 14.7 disappeared from memory. At first, nothing felt final. Calls were postponed. Meetings delayed. Carlos had lived through downturns before. He believed this would stabilize. Experience told him it always did. Within 60 days, revenue dropped 68%. Routes were canceled. Cash flow tightened. Carlos began contingency plans, reassuring employees, cutting costs. He still believed he was in control. Then one morning, an email arrived. It was polite, short, emotionless. The investor was exercising their rights under Clause 14.7 due to a material adverse change. Effective immediately, Carlos no longer controlled the board. He was instructed not to come to the office. At first, Carlos thought it was leverage, a tactic, a negotiation move. It wasn't. 2 weeks later, his access card stopped working. His company email was deactivated. Corporate credit cards were canceled. Security escorted him out of the building he had entered every day for 20 years. Employees stopped calling, not because they didn't care, because they were told not to. Carlos hired attorneys, then more attorneys. Every option was explored, every argument raised. The case dragged on for 14 months. By the end, more than $4 million had been spent on legal fees. But the outcome had already been decided years earlier in under 5 minutes. The judge's ruling was brief. The clause was clear, enforceable, legal. In 2021, the company was sold to a European logistics group for $118 million. Carlos received nothing, no payout, no severance, no acknowledgement. Today, Carlos rents a small apartment and drives Uber Black in Miami. Some passengers recognize his name from old business articles. They assume he sold the company and retired early. Carlos never corrects them. This didn't happen because he lacked intelligence. It happened because success convinced him that danger announces itself. It hides in familiar language, in clauses you've seen before, in contracts you think you already understand. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. When was the last time you actually read every line before signing? Because the clause that changes everything never looks important at first. And when it finally is, it's already too late. Welcome to Clause and Effect. Real stories of hidden contract clauses that changed lives. New cautionary tale every week. Subscribe to never miss one.